Welcome back to Haunted America. This is the premiere of Season 4. I'm your host, Dalton, and tonight we're picking up where we left off last year. If you remember that first interview, my good friend JD sat me down and asked me some of the biggest, and honestly some of the strangest questions about hauntings, the unexplained, and the world of the paranormal. After that episode aired, the messages came pouring in. You all wanted more. More theories, more stories, more of the weird questions only JD knows how to ask. So tonight, we're back with part 2 of that conversation. This time, we're diving deeper into the mysteries that surround us, what hauntings might really be, why certain places seem to hold on to energy, and some of the most thought-provoking topics in the paranormal field. So grab your headphones, turn down the lights, and get ready to step into the unknown once again. JD, thank you for coming back on the show. I'm glad to have you.
Well, thanks for having me back. I'm pleased that the first interview did so well. That's awesome.
Yeah, it is actually our third best episode ever, and I guess people just loved it. They loved that country accent of yours.
Maybe that's what it is, or maybe it's just like people feeling like they can relate. Someone that's just a fan can call in and say, "Hey, I just want to have a conversation with my favorite podcast and just see what happens."
And that's kind of part of the reason why we have that email open. And if you guys are noticing right now, if you're watching on Spotify or YouTube, we're trying something a little different with Season 4, baby. We're trying to move up in the world a little bit. Right now, if you're watching on Spotify or YouTube, you see that it is a video podcast. On the screen right now, it shows the email. It tells you guys that you can follow us on Facebook, subscribe to our YouTube. There are many different ways to contact us and to stay up to date with everything Haunted America. Really quick, JD, if you don't mind, I want to plug this. If you haven't listened to the teaser for Season 4, I urge you to go ahead and do that. It'll get you hyped up for this upcoming season, I promise. And a little bit more to add on to that here that I didn't talk about in the teaser for Season 4. This upcoming season, all of 2026, there will be an episode posted every Thursday of every month. We're going full on, not missing a single upload all of 2026. From the bottom of my heart, thank you guys for listening to the show. All of you that have sent in your stories, emailed us, followed us on Facebook already, followed us on YouTube already. I appreciate it. This past year, 2025, has been the best year ever by far for Haunted America. We have been streamed total in over 96 countries. And I'll be straight up honest with you guys, I didn't know that there were that many countries out there. So, there's that. Something else going on with Season 4 coming up here, guys. We have launched a subscriber-only episode tier, however you want to call it. Down in the description of every podcast coming out in Season 4 will be a link to click on and sign up for the subscriber-only episodes. Every week, along with the free episodes getting posted on Thursday, there will be a subscriber-only episode uploaded on Tuesday. So that's a total of 2 episodes coming out each week, all year long. It is $3.99 to sign up. You guys don't have to do it, obviously, but I would appreciate it. It would really help support the channel. And there's a reason I plugged the YouTube. We got some big things planned and in the works for this upcoming season, guys. Like I said, it's $3.99 a month, and you get an extra episode each week of the year. only available to subscribers. So there's a link down in the description if you guys want to go ahead and support the channel and sign up for it. I would appreciate it. If not, it's all good. There will still be a free episode posted every single week, all of 2026. More Haunted America content than ever. Now that that rant is done, JD, what you got for us?
Well, we're going to start things off much more different than we did last go around. I'm actually going to share something with you that I have not told you before.
Ooh, okay.
And I would like to hear your opinion. And just before I read this off, I'm not, meaning like, I don't think that something is, paranormal is going on with me, but more so like, what is your opinion of what I'm about to say? Okay.
Alrighty.
All right, here we go. I've never shared this before ever, like with anyone. I have had dreams before when I'm in a dark room. I am face to face with something evil. It feels like pure evil. It approaches me and screams at me. I scream back in defiance. It's like imagining two lions facing off for territory. I'm always ready and willing to fight this thing. The dream always ends in one of three ways. It either ends with the evil presence retreating, a stalemate where we both stand our ground, or me pinned to a wall. Even though I'm pinned down, I stare back at it and refuse to back down. What do you think this means? And why, like, this is a recurring dream that I have. So it just seems to be odd to me that it's recurring. So I just would like to pick your brain about it.
Huh. Wow. Huh. All right. Okay. We're making me think and digging into some heavy stuff right off the bat, buddy. I want to say it could be, it could be a number of things. And I know that sounds like a stupid, like, bland answer. But to me, my first thought that came running through my head was some sort of evil entity trying to manipulate its way into your life. And the way, like you said, it ends in one of three ways, right? Either retreating and waiting for the next time, or you guys standing at a stalemate, right? Where you don't want to back off and neither does whatever this entity might be. Or it ends with you pinned, right?
Right.
And that might be like maybe a sign that that entity is inching closer and closer to getting whatever it may want. That's one possibility. It could also just be one of those random reoccurring nightmares that tend to just kind of happen to people. But the first thing I said is what came into my head first. So I think that's what I'm going to go with on the answer for that. Now, as far as... I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, like in the first interview, I mentioned to you about why I feel like the movie Paranormal Activity is so scary is the idea of being recorded while you sleep. And that is part of the reason why I fear that, because of this dream.
Because of this happening to you?
Oh yeah, I've heard stories and read articles about people having dreams, and there's actually a presence at the bedside and influencing their dreams. So that's sort of the first thing that popped in my mind whenever I kept having this nightmare over and over again.
And that would kind of go hand in hand with what I just said. The first thing that popped in my head of some sort of evil entity possibly trying to inch its way into your life and have some sort of outcome on, whatever it has in its head of what it wants to accomplish. That this thing that happens to you is this battle between your spirit inside you and this entity trying to accomplish whatever it is it wants. And luckily, it hasn't ended in a fourth way, which who knows what that could be if the spirit ever gets strong enough. If it is a spirit, no way of really knowing right now, especially with where I live compared to where you live type thing. But if it ever gets worse, let me know. I'm glad you're telling me about it. How long has this been happening?
Well, it's not happened for a little while, and that kind of makes me think that maybe my defiance has
kind of deterred it a little bit.
Maybe kind of create a blockade, if you will. But it's been a recurring dream for a few years.
Really?
Yeah.
That's quite a long time to be having this kind of possible encounter with something, buddy. Just so you know that's a long time to have some sort of encounter with a possible, malevolent entity.
Yeah, that's and that's why I wanted to ask, because I knew that you would provide me some good advice on that. But I wanted to share that with the world.
Well, I appreciate you sharing it. And if you guys are listening on Spotify or YouTube, you guys can comment below what you think about anything we talk about tonight. And I would appreciate it if you guys did comment. Helps us interact with the community a little bit more. You could even email us if you guys ever have anything happen that is remotely close maybe to what we talk about on the podcast today. We'd love to hear your stories. Like I said, if you're listening on Spotify or YouTube, our email to get in contact with us is scrolling across the top of the screen right now. It is hauntedamericapodcast@gmail.com. hauntedamericapodcast@gmail.com. You can also follow us on Facebook and send us messages on there as well. All right, JD, what do you got next for me, buddy?
All right. My second question is, have you ever walked up to a person, whether it's a stranger or a friend, and noticed a dark presence attached to them?
Ooh. Not a dark presence. I don't think that's ever happened. I don't think I've ever had that happen before. You were talking about like walking up and immediately sensing like a strong, possibly malevolent type spirit or something like that attached to them or around them type thing.
Yeah, almost like a shadow that's following them, that type of thing. Or maybe you even sense something when you meet someone or something of that nature.
Well, I mean, yeah, there have been people I've met where obviously you feel like something's off, like as far as like my energy compared to theirs type thing. But I wouldn't say that's always like an evil spirit or something like that, something following them. That could be just forgive me, I can't remember the word right now, but that could be me just sensing their energy, you know what I mean, that actual human's energy. Yeah. And not feeling that it's not on the same level that mine is or something like that, and just getting a weird sense about the person, you know what I mean. And a lot of people, it's not just mediums or people that are in tune with this kind of thing that get that kind of sense. I mean, you could have a random Joe Schmo walk up to another random Joe and one feels off about the other type thing, and they could not be in tune with anything spiritual. That's just a gift that us as humans have sometimes, to be able to read a room, be able to read a person's energy type thing, But back to your original question, no, I don't think I've ever actually walked up to somebody and had like a weird feeling about their presence and something that might be around them. There was I wouldn't say this was like some random person I met. Obviously, back in high school, my buddy Andrew, and I might have talked about this on the podcast before. He got possessed by my dead XXXX. Sorry, mom. XXXXX stepdad. um, it, it's just something that happened, and obviously you could tell that something was, you could feel the energy when he got possessed by Adam. That was his name. um Andrew, he that was my friend's name. Andrew, he got possessed by Adam, and you could feel the energy in the room change. But that wasn't walking up to some random stranger and just being able to sense something.
Well, now that you brought that up, this was actually question number 5, but since you've already brought it up, let's go ahead and skip to this one. And this is, I think, my favorite question. Honestly, like, I'm really intrigued as to what your opinion is on this. What do you believe it is like inside the mind of a person who is possessed?
uh okay.
Like, I would imagine it's like pure chaos and hatred and like not having any control over yourself, that type of thing.
For those listening and listening where you can, comment down below what you think. Me personally, I'm going to side with you. It's probably absolute chaos. It's probably an internal battle, because almost all possessions, the human that is inside the actual body, like if I were to get possessed, me as my human, my spirit would be internally battling whatever it is that is possessing me. So I would imagine it being just one hell of a struggle, and my mind battling whatever it is that's inside of me and trying to win. And, a lot of times with possessions, you need external help in order to win those battles. So it's probably just a big war field inside there. And I
Yeah,
assume that
that's
you'll
sort of what I pictured
probably
too.
I assume you're probably hearing whatever it is the spirit inside of you also talk back to you and tell you, have him talk down to you, all that kind of stuff, have him belittle you, the typical demonic thing that you kind of see. I wouldn't say it's necessarily like what you might see in the movies and stuff. Hollywood dramatizes everything, but I imagine it's something kind of close to that. I've only ever literally been around one kind of possession, and that was when my buddy Andrew got possessed. So I don't have much personal experience with that kind of thing to be able to give any more insight on it.
Did Andrew ever, talk to you about what it felt like? Anything like that?
No. Not that I can remember right off the bat. It's been a while since me and him have talked. Last time we talked, I just got news that he was a dad to be, and we didn't talk for very long. But maybe that's something I do in the future. Maybe I bring him on to the show if he wants to, and we have a little discussion about it.
That would be amazing. That would be epic, honestly.
And maybe that's something we do in the future.
So you've moved from New York down to Louisiana, and you've kind of been exposed to a new culture, new environment, new surroundings. So I was just kind of wondering if maybe you've had a recent paranormal encounter while being in Louisiana.
I have.
Oh,
And actually, I was just asked today by my sister if I would be able to sit down and be able to really focus and try to channel through my brother-in-law's father, who passed away from a motorcycle accident a while back. And I've seen him walking in the house before. I've felt his presence everywhere in that house. we have very active spirits in the house we're in, and they open up the cupboard doors. They slam things, they move things, stuff get pushed off tables, um, stuff on the shelves in the living room get moved around. We live in a very active household right now. So, on top of all the other spooky stuff that happens in Louisiana, like graves being above ground. For those that don't know, Louisiana is so saturated with water that I think I've only seen one cemetery out of the 100 plus that I've seen, where the grave sites are in ground like you would see in New York. Every other cemetery I've seen, it's partially up out of the ground, which is it's kind of creepy to think about. It's kind of creepy to see, but they have to do it that way because there's just so much water in the ground that it pushes everything up. And especially after Katrina, for those that don't know, they had a big thing happen down here where there were coffins floating around in the water and bodies everywhere, and it was a big mess. And Myrtle's plantation is only about 40 minutes from me. Wink, wink, hint, hint. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. Wink, wink, hint, hint. But yeah, so that's about the extent right now of paranormal stuff that I've had happen since I moved down here. Just being in a very active household.
I would like updates on this. That you're actually currently living somewhere where you're having activity. That would be pretty awesome to get some, like, every once in a while just an update to know if there's anything new going on, any new communication, that kind of thing.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind updating everybody if people are interested in that kind of thing. And who knows, maybe we put up some cameras around the living room and kitchen area and catch some stuff on camera. Wink, wink, hint, hint, YouTube.
Just saying, right?
Yeah, just saying. Haunted America on YouTube.
So, well, speaking of that, again, it's just flowing into another question. And maybe, you can describe how things have maybe potentially manifested so far in the home. But my question was, what do you think determines how a spirit manifests? For example, it could manifest as a shadow or an orb or a mist. What determines how it manifests?
Well, from what I know, and for everything I'm answering here, guys, this is just what I know personally. Everybody has their own opinions and stuff like that. So, everybody answers can be different. Everybody's entitled to their own opinion. My opinion on this is that it depends on two different factors. How much actual energy that spirit holds at that time. You see it all the time on these ghost investigation shows. They put brand new batteries in a camera, and 10 minutes later into using the equipment, they are completely drained, right? And we tend to lean towards blaming that on the spirits because they like to take energy out of stuff like camera batteries or K2 meter batteries, that kind of stuff, to get energy for themselves to be able to manifest and do things as spirits. So factor number one for me is how much energy that spirit has at the time. Factor number two is it's literally up to them how they want to manifest to you, how they want to show themselves to you. With me, when I see spirits, it's literally it's up to them. Sometimes I see them like I would see me and you. Sometimes I see them as an orb, as a fog, as a mist type presence, right? And sometimes it happens in my head. It's like they go in there and they just play a video of them, of what they want me to say or of what they want me to see. So not all the time it's me actually seeing something with my eyes, and many other mediums have said the same thing, where spirit will just put something in their head for them to see. You see a lot of mediums that go, excuse me, they go to haunted locations. Um, they'll have spirits show them a video of what it was like back in the time period that spirit is from. So, it can happen in many different ways. But those are the two things that I think kind of lead in with that.
Do you think that the energy in the area could, because obviously they could, just like you said with the batteries, they could, draw from the energy. So if there's,
Right.
More, you know, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm lost for words here, but
More
there's more
things
to
for them
feed
to
off
take,
of.
and yeah, more for them to feed off of. Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, and you see it a lot with water is a natural source of energy, right? Rivers, flowing water, white rapids, that kind of stuff. That puts off a form of natural energy into the universe. So a lot of these haunted places that are near rivers tend to be more active, that kind of stuff. So location definitely plays a factor into it as well. And like you said, if it's a place that has a lot of items or stuff for them to draw energy from, yeah, I mean, by all means, I don't see why not. It's just another energy source for them to feed off of, to get that energy for themselves and to be able to do whatever it is they see fit.
Okay. Well, I want to switch things up just a little bit because I know your audience also enjoys, things like UFOs, alien life forms, and things of that nature. So I wanted to ask a few questions just to, keep them included, right?
Shoot, buddy.
Um, okay. Based on evidence from news media, eyewitness accounts, and conspiracy theories, what are your opinions and thoughts on the Roswell event in the 40s?
Okay, this one is actually a really good question to ask, because many longtime listeners of the show know that I had another host on the show, Jesse. He's doing well. For those that might be wondering where he is, he currently resides in Phoenix, Arizona. And he talked about that when we did our UFO and alien episode, how he grew up out there, and he's always wanted to go back out there. In March of 2025, I packed up my little crappy Ford Fusion, and I moved Jesse out to Phoenix, Arizona on the road trip out there. And I still have footage. It hasn't been released yet. I'm debating on it, putting together a video and posting it on the YouTube channel. Just trying to see if I can actually make an episode out of it or not. On the way out there, me and him stopped in Roswell, and we checked out a bunch of UFO shops, alien little, tourist trap gift shops. And we toured the, forgive me here, I'm going to mess up the name of it, but it's like the National UFO Museum out there that they have. It's right down the road from the UFO McDonald's. Really cool area if you guys have never been to it. The whole town totally buys into the Roswell landing thing. The whole town is aliens. It's awesome. It's one of the coolest places I've ever been to. Anyways, I'm rambling on. When we were in that museum, they had a lot of stuff obviously about Roswell, and obviously stuff with Area 51 and all that. I think the government tried to cover it up. I mean, obviously, right? They came out with stuff saying it was a weather balloon after somebody already came out and said that it was aliens. I mean, one of the shops we went into, the now owner, it was their grandfather that saw all this stuff happen, saw them pull out little alien men out of the spaceship and stuff like that. I mean, in my personal opinion, based off what I've seen at Roswell and the people I talked to while we were there, it definitely happened. Is that kind of what your question was? Like if I believe it actually happened type thing or not? Or if I believe in the
Yeah,
cover-up
definitely.
incident? That was a long way of me getting to, yes, I believe it happened. I apologize about that. I ramble. My
No,
bad.
I like that. I didn't know about the you going around and asking residents about things and getting actual firsthand stories. I think that's very intriguing, and I would love to see that episode on YouTube.
If so this upcoming season I plan on doing another alien episode. When that episode comes out, I will be more prepared and remember the name of the alien gift shop I went to. And like I said, the current owner now, it was their grandfather that that was in the newspaper and stuff like that, and was on the news documenting what he saw firsthand. And there's actually a mural right on the side of a picture that their grandfather took. I believe it is, or just a description picture, I guess, of what he might have saw. It's really cool. Like I said, if you guys ever get a chance to go to Roswell, New Mexico, 100% recommend it. Really cool little town. They totally buy into all the alien thing. It definitely happened. The government tried to cover it up. They can't do it anymore.
Okay, speaking of alien technology, do you think it's responsible for the sudden advancements in AI and modern technology?
I don't know about AI, but my actual modern technology, yes. I don't like. I don't see how it couldn't not be part of it. Like, explain to me how quickly we advanced as a society. You know what I mean? Like when I was born in 97. When I was born, there were pagers, all that kind of stuff, right? Home phones connected to the wall via a wire, all that stuff, starter up, dial up internet or whatever. You're telling me in 27 years, they went from a phone that had to be connected to your wall to something with wires and like underground wires that just give your phone all day access wherever you are to that kind of internet. I don't see how we actually as a human society could have advanced. If you can't hear me, that's snapping. How we could advance that quick. We had to have had some help from somewhere. And what is it, China or Japan is actually supposedly like 5 years ahead of us with their technology and stuff like that. I think every government, every country has access to some sort of foreign alien technology, and I think that's what's happening under Area 51 in Nevada. Is that there's a ton of alien technology in there, and probably like a head alien. I don't know, a head alien in there describing to them what it is, and spaceships land there and take off there and drop things off and explain to people at Area 51 what this technology is that they're bringing in, all that stuff. You call me crazy or whatever, but I think the aliens probably built the pyramids. You're telling me way back in the day, there were just 50 men climbing up 10-foot tall bricks with another brick on their back, laying down more 10-foot tall bricks to make a freaking pyramid? It's just hard to believe sometimes, And that's the fun thing about being human, is you get to debate on these things, and it makes you think. Because nowadays, I don't see us as a human society being able to do that kind of stuff. Why haven't we made more pyramids since?
Well, to add to the pyramids, aren't they like perfectly aligned with stars
Yep.
And there's like missing pieces off of them. Like there used to be something on top of those pyramids, and no one knows what happened to them. That could have been some sort of technology that was handed down to us by something that allowed us to map the stars, allowed us to come up with however they actually built the pyramids. Because those are huge boulders and bricks that they didn't supposedly have technology like we do today that could lift things like that.
And there are hieroglyphics on the insides and outsides of these pyramids that depict smaller life forms helping these people out. And there's one, uh, I can't remember exactly what it was I saw it in or whatever, but it had a picture of a spaceship with a little person sitting inside of it flying up near the sun, and it's in one of the pyramids in Egypt. It's crazy. If you guys have the time and you care about that kind of stuff, look into it. It'll make you think. It's wild. It's wild. Before
This question here,
okay.
go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead, brother.
I was gonna say I gotta get in our sponsor of the podcast because we are like 35 or so minutes in. So really quick, guys, let's talk about the sponsor of the show. All right, before we dive back into tonight's haunted tale, I've got to tell you something that actually keeps me going through all these late night investigations, and that's Dubby Energy. Look, when you're up at 2 a.m. reviewing EVP recordings or scrolling through ghost footage, the last thing you need is a sugar crash or shaky hands. Dubby gives you clean, focused energy. No jitters, no crash, and definitely no creepy side effects. It's packed with natural caffeine, vitamins, and nootropics. Everything you need to stay alert when the shadows start to move. And if you want to try it yourself, here's a little treat. Or maybe a trick. Head to dubby.gg. Use the code HAUNT10 at checkout to save 10% on your order. That's HAUNT10 to get 10% off and keep your energy level higher than your EMF readings. Dubby Energy. Fuel your focus and maybe your next ghost hunt. Okay, I just had to get in the sponsor of the episode really quick before we got too much further into it. Let's continue, buddy.
Okay, last question segment or whatever about aliens and things. Now, this is something that's really like I'm not sure how I feel about everything. So this is kind of where it gets me where it's like I don't understand this part of it. And that is like the majority of, alien truthers believe that the alien race that interacts with us or will interact with us are far more advanced in every way imaginable. So you hear about abductions happening. And if these are true, why are they so interested in learning about us, our biology? Why wouldn't they already know everything? And just to finish off that question, I guess the reason why I'm curious about this is because, to them, we are very primitive.
Right.
We are, we're just not on their level at all. So why are they so intrigued about us?
I think personally that there is, aliens are just the advanced to the max degree version of us as human life forms. I think that what they do is they abduct certain people and they test out maybe new technology that they have on us as humans, basically using us as guinea pigs for them. And that's why a lot of these alien abductions, and not all of them, but a lot of them, you hear people tell their story and all they remember is being beamed up, being on a table of some sort, and then they're back down. You know what I mean? It's kind of like going under, right? You remember just a little bit and then it's fuzzy, you're out, and then you're back. And now some people still remember a lot of stuff. You hear the typical thing, excuse me here, but being probed and all this and that stuff or whatever, I think it's just aliens doing research, maybe on, like I said, new technology for them that they want to test out, not necessarily on themselves as a species, but on us. Like you said, they think of us as primitive, and maybe being probed is them checking on gut health. Yeah, I don't know. Seeing like how the average person's diet is or something like that, how certain things that people are eating are affecting their body and their longevity, that kind of stuff. That's what I think that they might abduct humans for.
So with that being said, do you think maybe if that is the what they're doing, that they're actually trying to improve our lives?
I, I wouldn't say they're trying to improve our lives. I'd say it's just like their research to see how far along we're coming, to see what the average person's putting in their body, that kind of stuff. You know what I mean? Um, I wouldn't say they're necessarily care enough to improve our lives. It's like a zookeeper, at your whatever Joe Smo zoo.
Yeah.
You got to do testing and got to check up on the animals that are in your care type thing.
I guess the reason why I thought maybe they could be trying to improve our lives is because they've improved our technology. You know,
Right. Okay.
that's kind of why I looked at it that way.
I guess. I guess. I don't. I don't really know. The question kind of. I don't know.
It's a debate, you know. We're not sure, you know. That's the thing, is it's a big unknown. We don't really know what they're doing, but I'm sure everybody has their own opinion, and I'd like to hear some of those opinions on the comments, because I love reading the comments.
Yep. Like if you guys are listening on Spotify, you can comment down below. If you guys listen on YouTube, you can comment down below. You can email us stories or what you guys think, stuff you guys have heard. HauntedAmericaPodcast@gmail.com. Whatever you guys, however you guys want to get in contact with us. Message us on Facebook, all that stuff.
All right, let's get back to the world of the paranormal. Do you believe in astral projection?
Explain.
So, have you ever seen the movie Insidious,
Yes.
where the boy and the father was able to basically leave their body and sort of explore the plane between the living and the dead?
I believe in that to a certain point. I believe you have to have a near death experience to be able to experience that point, or whatever, however you want to describe it, right? I don't
Okay.
believe that you could just sit down and meditate enough to get into that area. You know what I mean? A lot of people that describe near death experiences, that is the area that they go to. The kind of in between. You know what I mean? You're not dead. You're not alive. You're not in your body. Your spirit leaves and it goes to that middle ground. And that's what I believe you're in when you have a near-death experience. Because if you're dead, you're going all the way to where you're supposed to go, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So I believe that that's the only way for you to get to that area. This is not me recommending that everybody goes out and tries your best to have a near-death experience just to experience this place. You'll see it eventually. When it is your time, you will see what you're supposed to see.
The next question was basically tied to what you just said about near-death experiences. Science, kind of leans towards that this is a simulation of the brain because, of our entertainment that we watch, things that the mainstream says that happens, that it's really just a simulation of the brain. It's not really crossing into a plane. So you actually do believe, in your opinion, that we actually do, cross into that plane, like if between the living and the dead, I mean, but like if you're on the operating table and you code out, and you temporarily leave your body, you believe
Hmm.
that that's actually what's happening, and it's not really just a simulation.
Yes. So here, I'll dig into what I believe in. Now, everybody's going to believe in something else, right? Um, so if you code out, right, but you come back, I think that whatever you believe in has a plan for you, and that if you code out and you're not meant to actually pass away right then and there, you'll go to that middle ground. You'll go to that in between, somewhere in between here on earth and wherever it is you go after you pass away. If you're not meant to pass away at that moment, you go to that middle ground. You see what you're supposed to see because it happens for a reason. Almost everybody that has a near death experience describes seeing something in that middle ground that has an impact on them. And then after they see it, they basically get told, not your time. Go back down and spread the word of whatever you were told. You know what I mean? Um,
Yeah.
and then they come back. If you're meant to pass away, you go to that place. And it's your spirit, your energy, your physical energy leaves your body. That's all it is. And I believe that's basically all we are. I mean, everybody has electromagnetivity inside of them. I'm sorry, excuse me. Um, and when you pass away, your energy, your spirit leaves your body, and it goes to this place. And I believe this place is actually here on Earth. It's the spirit realm. That's what we're interacting with when we are investigating and stuff like that. Is energy. That's why your K2 meter goes off when you're in the presence of a spirit. It's energy. So that's my take on it. Is that where we go after we die is here. It's just a realm that we can't see with our physical eyes. Um,
Just a comment to add to that. I would imagine that anyone that has had a near death experience that, actually, does see something and brings something back with them, that has got to be traumatic.
It depends on how
I would,
you put it. It could be traumatic in a life-changing sort of way. They could pass away and see their spirit guide, and their spirit guide says, "Hey, you need to stop doing this in your life. This is hurting you. This is hurting your relationships with these people around you. Go back down, be a better person, change this about you, and live a better life." It could be something positive they come back with. And
that's a good point.
it's like a light switch flips inside them, and they're like, "Oh my gosh, some form of an afterlife is real. I saw my grandma next to a big white light that was talking to me, and they told me they loved me and that they can't wait to be back with me, but my time is not now. I now know that there is something to look forward to after I leave this physical realm." It doesn't always
Mm-hmm.
have to be something negative or traumatic. I mean, yeah, thinking about it, oh my gosh, I flatlined for 5 minutes and the doctors had to bring me back. That kind of thing. Yeah, that could be traumatic. But the experience that you hear people talk about that have had these experiences, what they saw when they were in that middle ground, floating, leaving their body, looking down and seeing the doctors work on them, and then what they saw when they did see their spirit guide or passed on family members and what those people told them. I don't think that part's traumatic. I think it's more of a put your inner soul at ease type of experience.
I guess for me, the thought of seeing myself laying, on an operating table, surrounded by the doctors, trying to bring me back, I feel like that would be an image that would be, with me for the rest of my life, that type of thing.
But I personally I've gotten to the point where I feel like I have a good understanding of what might happen to me after I pass away. And if I ever had a near-death experience and I saw that happen to me and I came back down and, oh my gosh, I saw that or whatever, right? I don't think I would freak out. I don't think it would be traumatic on me because I know that after I pass, we're here for, 100 years if we're lucky. We are on this earth to learn and grow and to do right by other humans around us. We take those experiences with us onto the afterlife. This is what I believe in. We get born, we live this life, learn lessons, grow, and take those lessons that we learned here in the physical realm with us to the afterlife, and we share it with other spirits and energies around us. And then we come back as something else, and we continue to learn, and we continue to learn, and we continue to learn, lifetime after lifetime after lifetime. And eventually, I think you quote unquote graduate to a spirit guide. Once you learn everything there is to learn and grow and better your inner spirit and your energy, there's nothing to do after that. That's what I think a spirit guide is somebody that's learned everything you need to learn, done everything you need to do to help your spirit grow. I'm going on a rant. I don't know where else to go with that, but that's
okay.
what I think. That's what I think
happens. That's why we're asking these questions, because I want to know what you think about things.
Everybody's going to have their own opinion on what happens after you pass away, and everybody's going to have their own depiction of heaven and what it is and stuff like that. Everybody believes in something different, and that's the beauty of being human and having debates and talking to people. Everybody has their own opinion, and it's good to bounce ideas and questions off other people to help you grow and get a possible different outlook on what things are in the world,
Right. Speaking of, trying to pass on things and get people to grow, I'm going to use this opportunity to ask this question here so that maybe people can understand more about your gift. And that's, what is the biggest misconceptions about mediums?
That everywhere we go, we see dead people.
Okay.
That's what I would think, at least. It's different for everybody. Everybody has their own experiences if they have, this kind of gift and can do this stuff. For me, I have learned from my grandfather when he was still alive a way to kind of shut the door to the spirit world. And everybody has this area, or at least you should. I believe everybody has it. Right in between your eyebrows, there's a little area, and if I'm doing it right now, if you lightly rub it with your finger, it kind of tingles. And it's the area where I believe my quote unquote third eye, I guess, to be. And when I don't want to be bothered by spirit, or I just don't want to do it, I kind of meditate in a way and can turn that off or turn it back on. I literally sit there and I visualize a door closing from the physical world to the spirit world. Now, it doesn't always work. If spirit wants to freaking talk to you, they're gonna find a way to freaking make it happen. They're gonna throw something off a shelf or something,
Yeah.
But it's not a 24/7 thing for me like it was when I was little. Stuff was happening all the freaking time, and I didn't know how to freaking handle it. And that's a lot of young mediums go through that exact same thing. Stuff is just happening all the time. It's so hectic. They're hearing these voices, they're seeing these visions in their head, and they don't know how to handle it. And a lot of them, if they're really young and their parents don't believe in this kind of thing, they don't want to go to their parents and say it because they're scared that their parents are gonna think they're freaking crazy. That they're going insane. Oh my gosh, my child is having visions of a dead person from the 1920s. What is going on with my kid? He's going psycho. When it's possible that your kid's going psycho, but it's not always the case. Anyways, the most common misconception for me that I think, anyways, is that it happens all the time. That it's just a 24/7 thing. I walk into my local supermarket, and there's 5 dead people walking down aisle 4. No, it's not like that all the time. It's not like that all the time.
I think some misconceptions where I live is that they think mediums can predict the future.
Yeah, no. No. I mean, so. Yeah, okay, another misconception here. That mediums are not always tarot card readers or whatever. I can't look at your palm and tell you what your passed on grandfather thought about what you had for dinner last night. I can't do that. I can't look at the picture on 3 different cards that I just flipped over and tell you, "Oh yeah, you're going to get married next summer. You're going to meet a beautiful husband or a beautiful wife, whatever." I can't. Not everybody can do that kind of thing. And me personally, I don't know if I believe in tarot cards full-heartedly. I believe that there's some kind of truth and stuff with it, but I think a lot of it, and you can catch a lot of people, a lot of people fake this kind of stuff and use it for money. And if you give somebody the right cues and you are desperate enough, somebody can take advantage of you.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I love that.
Somebody can take advantage of you and make you believe that they are seeing a passed on grandma or grandpa. I've seen plenty of videos of it happen online. YouTube exists, people. Use it, get smarter, don't get scammed. It happens all the time in this freaking world now. Be smarter than the average person. Please protect yourself.
So you do classify your gift or your being able to be a medium as a gift and not a burden?
Oh, it's a gift. It's a gift. It's a gift. But it pisses me off sometimes. I'm just gonna say it. There are times it can be a burden. But that's why you grow and you learn how to use it the right way, and you learn how to be able to close it off at times, and you learn how to, even if it's not fully closed or whatever, or you're out and about and you see something, it's okay to tell Spirit no. It's okay to not do everything Spirit tells you to do. If Spirit tells you to drive from Louisiana to Texas to go see a flower, I ain't doing it. I'm sorry. I'm not gonna go see your favorite flower states away. I'm not gonna go. Oh my gosh, please, Mr. Dalton, can you drive back to New York to tell my grandson that I'm proud of him? I'm sorry, no. I did. Are you? Spirit, you gonna pay me? You gonna pay my gas?
Yeah, right. Gas is too high for that.
You gonna buy my plane ticket? I don't think so. That's what I thought. So, yeah. Anyways.
So here's a fun question to kind of break up some of the serious stuff, and I'm so excited to ask this. How does your spouse feel about you being able to interact with the dead?
Hates it.
Oh, yeah?
Don't talk about it. Hates it. Don't tell me when there's ghosts around. Don't tell me when something's about to happen. Oh, something got pushed off the countertop. It's crazy coincidence. It wasn't a ghost. Let's not talk about it. Yeah, not the biggest fan. Not the biggest fan.
Okay.
That one was pretty easy to answer.
I was just wondering what she thought about it.
Yep, not a fan.
Um, okay. This might be a silly one. I almost took this out, but I was just too curious. So after moving from New York to Louisiana, do you ever get signals or visions, or maybe get dreams about the Gowanda House spirit?
You can't see me, but I'm smirking right now. You can't see me, but I'm smirking. Um, uh, I it, I think about it all the time. It's something traumatic that, it implanted itself in my memories as a child. There are there are times, and I know my sister has the same things happen to her. It You just randomly get the picture in your head of that spirit standing in the TV. Like, sitting there and seeing exactly what we saw. The spirit's reflection in the TV from the doorway happens all the time. All the time. It's just something that implanted itself on us. I don't know if it's that same spirit given that message that it's still here, still there, something, or if it's just that it was that traumatic that it still finds its way into both of our heads sometimes. And
Kind of like a scar.
yeah, kind of like a scar on your brain type memory thing. Little hint, little teaser here, guys. If you don't know what we're talking about with the Gowanda House, when me and my sister were growing up, we lived in this house in Gowanda, New York, and the most haunted house out of every haunted location, every haunted house I've ever been in. I will say that the Gowanda House is the most haunted thing I've ever stepped foot in. The craziest house I've ever had the pleasure slash displeasure of living in on two different occasions in my life, living there. And it was just as crazy the second time around. Anyways, me and my sister, I will be having my sister on the show and doing an interview with her, and we will be discussing our experiences and our time living in the Gowanda House. So that episode will come out eventually in season 4. But yeah, you guys have that to look forward to if you've made it this far in the podcast. And speaking of which, if you made it this far in the podcast, we are an hour and 3 minutes in. If you've made it this far, I hope you're enjoying it. I know JD, he was really excited when me and him talked about the possibility of doing another interview episode. If you guys could take the time to follow the show, give it a rating on whatever podcast platform you're listening on. Follow us on YouTube at Haunted America Podcast. Follow us on Facebook, Haunted America Podcast. Share this out to a friend, somebody that you think would like this kind of show. We have a lot of big things coming up in season 4, guys. And just a quick reminder, we do have the subscription link in the description of this podcast down below. Click that link, sign up. It's $3.99 a month. You get yourself an extra episode every single Tuesday, only available to subscribers. I'd appreciate it. Let's get back into the episode, baby. Hit us, JD.
Yeah. Definitely support. I've already signed up myself. I'm excited about the new content.
We got some big things coming, guys. Some big locations we're talking about. And the YouTube, wink, wink. Go subscribe over there. You're going to want to be subscribed to the YouTube.
So this next question was inspired by my neighbor, because I remember it's a couple of years ago. My neighbor came over, and she's a church going lady, and she was making some comments about scary movies and talking about scary movie type stuff. And so I don't know, something reminded me of what she said, so I wanted to ask you something based on what she said. And she says that she is open to the idea that watching horror movies can actually open portals that promote supernatural activity. Do you believe that this is true?
I wouldn't say that it opens portals in a way, but I would say that it maybe heightens your possibility of being aware to other things going on around you. Watching a movie, a scary, we're recording this episode right now at 3-4 o'clock in the morning, whatever, right? Witching hour. If you get off this episode and you feel a certain way, and you feel like something's following behind you when you get up off this recording this episode, and you run to your bed because you feel like something's behind you, there's a possibility of there actually being nothing behind you. It's just a thing that all of us tend to feel. As little kids, you go to turn off your bedroom light and you run to your bed as fast as you can and jump up on that bed because you're nervous that as soon as you turn off the light, something's gonna come and get you. Watching a horror movie is the same kind of thing. It heightens your senses. You start to think things and feel things, and that's what movies do. They make you feel. So I think that's a possibility. It also I think maybe some demons, some spirits try to take advantage of that. Not everything is just your senses overreacting or whatever. There's a possibility that it is a spirit trying to take advantage of your senses being on edge. You know what I mean? Mess with you. Spirits are, they're like cats sometimes. I mean that in a good way, spirit. Okay, I mean that in a good way. Sometimes they're like a cat. They see an opening. They want to play. They want to interact. They want to see how far they can push you. They want to see what they can do. They want to impress you. They want to impress themselves. Sometimes a spirit just wants to see if they can knock over the cup sitting on the countertop. So they do it. And next thing you know, they actually have enough energy to do it. And they surprise themselves and they scare the shit out of you. It happens. Did I answer your question?
Yeah. I mean, you basically said that you didn't think that the horror movies themselves, do that. It's more about opening your mind to the possibility of things of that happening.
Yeah, I don't think that if you sit down and watch The Conjuring tonight, that it's going to open a portal above your bed that allows every demonic entity in the world to flow into your house. I don't think that that's a possibility.
Miss Neighbor later, you think so? Just FYI.
Well,
but
to each their own.
That's why I was asking. I thought it was funny too. But so I've got 3 last questions, and they're all completely different of each other. So, do animal-related hauntings make a case that animals have souls? Or are there something else disguising themselves as animals?
They have their own energy as animals. My dog Chloe, she's got her own energy about her. And that energy doesn't just go away once she passes away. And I think they do have souls. There are plenty of videos out there, plenty of evidence of animal-related hauntings out there to, I think, back up exactly what I'm trying to say here. And I think it proves that they have souls because they have energy. Every living being has an energy about it, and that energy doesn't just disappear once you pass away. That energy has to go somewhere. It's Newton's law or something. I don't freaking know. But yeah, you get what I'm saying.
Yeah, I was just curious because I can understand human ghost haunting, that type of thing, but to hear and read stories about passed on pets and things like that are still kind of hanging around protecting their owner, that type of thing, that was something that it was kind of harder for me to understand.
Yeah, I mean, there was Oh, what was it? I was watching. This was a while ago. Some YouTuber that would record them calling for their passed on dog, and they were sitting on their bed, and they called for that dog. And obviously, this was a while ago. It could have been faked, but I thought it was real, right? Um, they called for their passed on dog, and you could see a depression on the end of the bed from like where a
Wow.
dog would jump up on the bed. I think
Oh
they
wow.
have their own energy. I think they have their own spirits. That energy has to go somewhere once they pass on. It doesn't just dissipate and go away. I think, just like our energy once we pass away as humans. I think
Okay.
animal hauntings and stuff are real. I think it proves that. I think it proves everything.
All right. Uh, what is your advice to a new investigator that's about to go into the field? How do they keep themselves safe, and how do they catch that career defining apparition?
Advice: don't, as much as I love Ghost Adventures. I watched it religiously as a child every Friday on the Travel Channel when new episodes would come out right after I was done watching Friday Night SmackDown. um, don't be like Zach Baggins. Don't antagonize every spirit you come into contact with. Don't go in there and say, "Hey, spirits, come and get me. Come come do this, come do that." Don't do that. Don't invite something to come do something to you that you don't actually want happening. That's how you get things to follow you home. That's how you get problems at home. You never really know what you are dealing with. And there are plenty of different stories of stuff like that happening. Going back to Ghost Adventures, they went to Bobby Mackey's Music World, their first ever time going there. They provoked the crap. Forgive me. They provoked the ever living shit out of the spirits, their first ever time being there. Aaron Goodwin's first marriage ended because of it. He had his first marriage end because of the spirits from Bobby Mackey's Music World. Don't be like Ghost Adventures. Be kind to them. They're usually kind back to you. Yeah, that's not saying just because you're kind to them, nothing's going to happen or whatever, right? But show
At
them
least be
respect.
respectful.
Yes, show them respect. Usually they show respect back to you in a way. Get as much equipment as your heart desires. Do whatever you feel necessary to catch whatever you want to catch on camera, or if you just want to get EVPs, get you a good EVP recorder and go sit in a quiet area at a haunted location you're at and just have a conversation with whatever spirits might be around. Go into it with an open mind. Don't expect to catch everything every time. Spirits don't always like to listen and cooperate. You might go into the most haunted area and you could be in there from dusk until dawn, buddy. You might not get a single EVP. You might not have a single thing set off your K2 meter or your REM pod. You might not catch a single spirit on your spirit voice on your spirit box. It is what it is. It's like for those of you that are deer hunters, turkey hunters, or whatever, they're fishermen. You can't expect to catch everything or shoot anything every time you go out. It is what it is. It's the luck of the draw. Be in the right place at the right time. That kind of thing.
So, besides not provoking, are there other ways that they can stay safe? I mean, like I've heard in other episodes that that you've done talking about, telling them that you cannot follow me,
Mm-hmm.
that kind of thing. Is there anything like that you could, um, tell someone that's fixing to go out in the field for the first time that they could do that might prevent them being followed home, that type of thing?
Draw the line as soon as you get to that area. Before, in the car ride over, plane ride over, talk, protect yourself. Say that the spirits are not allowed to follow you home. Say that they're not allowed to do this to you. Don't touch me. Don't do this. Don't do that. Set your boundaries. Say it, like I said, on your car ride over, at the front gate, inside, before you actually start doing stuff that is considered quote unquote investigating. Say it out loud. Put it out there into the universe. You can say a prayer. Not everybody believes in prayer, but you can say a prayer. Sage is a decent thing to have on you. If you have it, you have access to it. It is gifted to you. Sage. I usually set my boundaries when I get to places, or before I start investigating places. I set boundaries. I say it out loud. I put it out into the universe. If I'm going into an area I know is quite fucked up, for lack of a better word, or whatever, I might say a prayer. Try to protect
Okay.
myself the best I can. And I mean, everybody senses things different. I have medium abilities, so I can sense more than 95% of the time, I guess. I can sense certain spirits, energies, and stuff like that. Like, I know kind of most of the time what kind of spirit I'm around, at least. Empath, all that kind of stuff. But not everybody is that fortunate to be able to have that kind of feeling to them. So just do whatever you feel is right based on the area that you are going to.
All right. So this is the last question, and I kind of got to give you a little bit of crap on this one, okay?
Oh
So
God.
you sort of dodged this a little bit last time we did the interview. It was the very first question that I asked, but I'm going to let you off the hook. I'm going to give you a chance to redeem yourself, okay? Um,
This is
because
about
there
this
has
is
been some
about Ed and
things.
Laura in the rain, ain't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
How could you guess? So there's been a few things that's happened since we interviewed, and so with that being said, now that these things have happened, including Lorraine Warren, she's passed away now, and the controversial death of the museum caretaker,
Oh yeah.
and the absolutely mind-blowing decision to tour the Annabelle doll around the United States, which is just stupid. Okay, I'm just gonna say it. It's stupid.
Ed and Lorraine
So I'd
Warren
like.
had that doll locked up for a reason. You don't parade it around like
I know it's
like
crazy.
a show goat or something. I don't freaking know. You don't parade that kind of spirit around with that kind of energy around it, knowing damn well what Ed and Lorraine went through with that doll. You don't take that kind of energy out on the road and parade it around. And exactly what you would expect to have happen happened. The guy taking Annabelle on tour around the world passed away suddenly and unexpectedly. Now, some people are going to say, oh, it just randomly happened. Me personally, no. I'm sorry. You don't fuck with that kind of stuff like that. You don't. Going back to what we just talked about, this is exactly why you protect yourself as much as you can when you go to these places, when you do these kind of things, because there are spirits like that. There are malevolent energies and things like that out here in this world that we reside in. You don't bother that kind of stuff and put it through what the spirit of Annabelle went through, and it voiced its displeasure, and somebody passed away because of it. Plain and
Well,
simple.
it probably was. It's probably like, you're not going to make money off of me. You're not going to, because I mean, like we was talking about with the previous question about the respect. That's very disrespectful.
Yep. Take me back to my seat and lock me up. Leave me be.
And he unfortunately learned the hard way.
Paid the price.
I also agree that is just that cannot be a coincidence. There's just no way that's a coincidence.
Never in a million years would I, if I ever owned something like that, if I ever had the collection like Ed and Lorraine or whatever, right? Haunted artifacts, things that have spirits attached to them. They put them in that room for a reason. For those spirits to have a place to rest away from everything and not cause as much harm as they once did. Somebody decided to take those items out and parade them around for monetary gain. And the spirit said, to hell with you. You ain't doing it to us. Take us back. And somebody died. It is what it is. Shouldn't have done it.
And,
I'm sorry, but
kind of what creeps me out too, though, is like, now it's changed ownership.
Yep.
So and I don't know anything about the new owner. I'm not going to make any comments about that, but I would imagine that this person lacks the experience and the knowledge that the decades of the Warrens that they had. So it kind of just creeps me out thinking that they don't know exactly what they're dealing with either.
I mean, I imagine they have to know to a certain extent, and especially with everything that has happened, in the last year with these artifacts and these spirits. They have to know at least a little bit, and it wouldn't be hard for them to look into Ed and Lorraine and get some paperwork and the documents that they had on all these artifacts and read up on them. Do your own. You now own these items, right? They are now in your possession. You are now the caretaker. Do your research. Be prepared. I wouldn't, even as much as I know about some of the artifacts, I wouldn't take. They would not come into wherever I would be putting them until I did my due diligence. I ain't touching it in a certain way. I ain't looking at it a certain way. I'm not even putting the thought into my head about it until I know everything I need to know to keep myself safe.
Yeah, it just like I said, it just blew my mind that this person paraded it around knowing just how dangerous it was. I mean, it could have gotten other people hurt. Not just him.
And luckily for everybody else, it seems like Annabelle knew exactly who was behind, everything going on with the parading around and the showboating off and all that stuff. And Annabelle, I don't want to say, I don't want to word it in the wrong way because somebody did pass away, but Annabelle knew exactly who was in charge of what exactly was happening, and took it out on the person that spirit knew was in charge of the things happening. Like you said, luckily the spirit didn't put anybody else in harm yet. Who knows?
Yet, exactly.
Who knows? Yet.
In all caps, yet.
Yeah.
Well, buddy, that's all I had for you this go around.
That's it.
That's it.
That is it. Well, I can't even remember how we ended the last one. Was it just a goodbye and we just hit a hard outro? Buddy, I thank you for coming back on here and having as many questions as you did. I hope I did a good enough job of answering them with my own opinion and giving my own insight on everything you had to ask and everything you brought up. Is there anything you last words you want to share with the audience or whatever?
Well, one thing I would like to say is I want to continue to encourage people to send in their personal stories to your email address, hauntedamericapodcast@gmail.com. And I'm not just trying to plug that. Those are some of my favorite episodes as a fan, to hear the listeners' actual experiences. It just, to me, it goes to a more of a personal level, and I really tend to enjoy those episodes more. So I would like to continue to encourage people to reach out to you, whether it's through the an interview process, like you said, that you had an idea with your sister. I think that's going to be an incredible episode. But just everything you've told me about season 4, I can't wait for it. I'm excited, and I want everyone to continue to support us.
Yeah, I adding on to the getting emails from people with their own personal stories. First of all, if you made it this far on the podcast, you're a real one. I appreciate it. This was a long episode, and hopefully we kept you guys entertained and you found some value in everything you listened to today. Second, about sending in your stories to the podcast via the email or however else you guys might in the future send in your stories to me. I appreciate it a million times over. I cannot begin to explain to you guys the feeling of when I get a notification that I got an email from one of you guys. It is the coolest feeling in the world, knowing that some little podcaster, me, is having listeners from around the world they take the time to, first of all, listen to the show, remember the email, and then write out an email and send it into the story with the hopes of it being shared on the podcast. That the fact that you guys take your time out of your day to do that is just, I appreciate it. And every single story that gets sent in is read on this show. I appreciate it a lot, and I just still can't believe that we have the audience that we have, and that you guys send in your stories. It's something else. It's pretty dang cool. It's a pretty cool feeling. I can't describe it 100%, but it's pretty dang cool, and it makes me feel pretty good, and it kind of reassures me that what I'm doing here is in one way or another, helping people get stuff off their chest that they might not be able to share with their family and stuff like that, because I know a lot of people don't believe in spirits and ghosts and cryptids and aliens and all this other stuff that we talk about on this podcast. So that being said, our email is hauntedamericapodcast@gmail.com, and if you have anything that you would like to share with the podcast, or something you just want to send to me and share to me without it being read on the podcast, whatever, you can do so by emailing us, hauntedamericapodcast@gmail.com. You can comment below on this episode or any episode in the future, any episode in the past, on Spotify or YouTube. You can message us on Facebook, all that kind of stuff. If you guys want to support the channel, you can subscribe. It's $3.99 a month. The whole year of 2026, we are uploading a free episode every single Thursday of every single week in 2026, guys. We're not missing a single upload. Along with that, being a subscriber, you get an episode every Tuesday of every single week. $3.99 a month. It really would help the channel out a lot and fund future projects that we have planned that you guys should subscribe to the YouTube for. Haunted America podcast on YouTube. That's it for plugs. I'm done doing the shameless plug thing. Link in the bio for the subscription link. JD, I appreciate you coming on, man. It is late. We sat down and talked for a while before we actually press record here. It is now it is 5:30. It is 5:30 Central Time in the morning right now at the time of wrapping up this podcast. So
the things you do for the listeners.
Yeah, I'm up at the witching hour for you guys. Trying to push out good content. I hope you guys liked the new way. If you're listening on Spotify, you know, you guys got the video podcast. We're working on getting we have a camera now, but it's not up to the standard that I would like it to be. So we're working on getting a face camera. We'll do a little face reveal and get my face out here on the actual show. So yeah, we'll get there eventually. You'll get there eventually. If you guys subscribe, it'll definitely help us improve everything. You don't have to. Like I said, free episode every week. But if you subscribe, I'd appreciate it. Really help us out. That's going to do it. Come back next Thursday for another episode of Haunted America. Let's hit this. Ladies and gentlemen, that has been the second installment of Haunted America Interview. I've been joined by my good friend JD here. And for both of us, I appreciate you guys joining us for this hour and a half long interview. Have a wonderful night and stay safe. Protect yourself when you're messing with spirits. You don't know what you're joining in or what you're inviting in with you. Don't mess with each other.
No Ouija board.
Yeah.
Dude,
I'm so happy we thought about it at the same time. Oh my God, what a perfect way to freaking end this podcast. We thought about it at the same time. Let's go. That's going to end it for us, fellas. Have a wonderful night.